Hello, hello, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome to Beavers once again. Been a while since we streamed this one. This is, if you are not familiar, our testing, learn how the game features work world that I decided I would share with everybody. Tried to learn a little bit about automation when this update first dropped, and today I thought it would be fun if we played with the Riverborn Raft mod, which allows us to build interactive waterways, and we can send supplies, not beavers though, just supplies, on these log rafts around places. And when I was recording one of the most recent episodes of the video series I'm doing with the Folktails, I had an idea, inspired by some comments that you guys left, of maybe, what if we built a raft roller coaster type thing? So, I kind of want to try and do that today. I don't know how far we're going to get, but I did install the mod for this playthrough as well, and we're going to go ahead and get started. But we have to have more industrial processing because right now we only have 195 metal blocks. That's not going to cut the mustard, folks. So I am going to turn this smelter on, and we're going to have to build some more storage for metal because boy oh boy are we going to use a lot of that. And I'm not going to make any promises about this looking particularly nice because that would be kind of a fruitless effort, so I'm just going to plop down a little bit more metal storage here and there. Probably should have copy-pasted these because you know how that goes. But we're going to let them do what they got to do. Get this stuff ramped up in the background. We got 1,800 logs. We got 3,000 planks. We're looking okay on most other things except dirt. And that is another one of those things that is just going to take some time, as you all know. So, I think we're going to be probably wanting to get that locked in a little bit sooner rather than later. So, see, I do know how to use the duplicate function. But we just need, you know, we just need beavers to do stuff. So, we're going to get them going. And we do have to do a little bit of testing on what actually will work, because I haven't messed with a lot of this stuff. So, for those of you not familiar, Riverborn Raft Logistics adds rafting to the game. And you can transport goods, not beavers once again, but you build this thing and it puts supplies on a raft and it'll just go with whatever the flow of water is. And it's pretty neat. But it also allows us to put in these ramps here, which if you had Hot Wheels as a kid, you know exactly what this does. This has the spinning wheels once it's powered and it just shoots things up. So what I thought would be a fun thing to try here is just pop in one of these types of deals. I guess I should probably select a spot that's a little bit more accessible. I do want to see, one, how far a raft can go at any given current speed, and I want to see how high it can go, because we only have the one type of ramp. It is essentially, what, like three blocks deep, 2 blocks tall. I couldn't tell you what angle that is, but it's not a terribly steep one. I want to know if I can just chain these together and it'll just go straight up the ramp, or if it has to land from the first jump and then go back up. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. I do not know exactly how that's going to work. Can't show it using slashes. What are you talking about? Oh, is the game chat censoring you? Yeah, that's what I was going to try and figure out, but I have to find a good place to try and build this is the problem. Not going to be a very easy thing. Because I do need water flow, and right now this is probably one of the best spots to do it. We'll want to have indication of what our flow is looking like. I think the stream gauge, without getting any complicated stuff going, that's probably going to be our best friend there. So why don't we just pop this, say, right here, give it a water wheel for power. Is that going to actually attach? Does not look like it is. Okay. We're going to have to get creative here. I think it's going to be the best way to attempt to describe what we're doing. I think I can do this. What does this require? 50 HP? Okay, that's not going to work then. we are going to have to just try to figure this out. So that's only 37. Because I do want it to have full power, and that's also not going to be any stronger, huh? If I turn off these water pumps, where are we pumping water elsewhere, first of all? Down here? Let's just do this for right now. See how much that's going to change. Yeah, 0.3 cubic meters per second. That gets us up to 43 here. Yeah, see, it's just not going to play nice. All right. Well, I was trying to avoid, you know, just having an engine in here because those require maintenance. But I guess we're just going to have to do what we have to do. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to try once this is actually operating. We just have to do a lot of experimentation. Well, of course I haven't forgotten about stream gauges. I would prefer to use these because they're not complicated. Automation always just kicks my butt. It does not matter how many times people try to explain it. I just can't understand it. And I've already forgotten almost everything I learned about it, which is upsetting. Yeah, so that's right there. I've got to get... I guess I could just... because I don't really have to send anything for this to work correctly. I just have to have... Yeah, I'm going to have to get this situated here. Let's put in that. I just need them to get rid of this stuff. We also have raft guides. I didn't really talk about these, but this can help get your stuff where it needs to go. Where it needs to go being on this. So we're going to find out. We are going to see what we can see. I actually don't know if it's going to let me build that right there. It might not. Do I have dynamite? I do. Let's just give them something to do here. We also don't have a very big population, so construction is going to be an interesting thing. I feel like this probably would be better if I had bots. We're going to see what happens, though. We do still have to figure most of this stuff out. Beaver Coaster Tycoon. Yes, exactly. Rodent-actuated floating track is absolutely fantastic. A+. A+. Alright, come on, get those trees out of here. Well, congratulations on your new position. Glad you can join us for weekend streams. I did try, and some of you were there, I did try to do a stream earlier today. It did not work because time is absolutely impossible, even if your main job is YouTube. So, apologize for not being able to do anything this afternoon. But I think we're going to have a good time here. Now, we have the ability to do banners. These have to be built. So I want to see... I want to label this. 1, 2, 3. Pay no attention to the fact that these aren't going to be at the same level. But you know what? I think I'm just going to do this anyway because it's fun and, you know, part of the appeal of this is the spectacle of it all, right? So, if we do 1, 2, 3 here. You know how to count. Probably. So we'll just get this up to 10. Is there a 0? Yes, so this 0 represents 10. Just keep that in mind. So we want to see what kind of distance we're going to get. I think it's going to go past the 10. So I should probably attempt to do this again. So this is 11. This is 12. We'll go all the way out to here, which means I'm going to have to give them a path. Yeah, just make this nice and simple. We can duplicate the 3. We can duplicate the 4. Make this a little bit easier on ourselves. Alright, so that's going to give us 18. It's going to give us 19. Oh, of course, we have a drought coming up. That's great. So this is 20 blocks all the way to here. Can you put a 3x2 of double platforms next to the end of the... Well, we got to see how far this goes first. That's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know that that's going to work, though. I just need them to, you know, actually get started here. So, how this works is you can send a dispatch of raft with basically whatever you want on it. You don't even have to have cargo. You can just send an empty raft, which is made of 4 logs. So we're going to have, I guess, for the sake of attempting to, you know, not be completely insane, let's do every half hour, which they're going to start launching here in a moment as soon as they get things filled up. Yeah, see, they're bringing those up here. Actually, no, that's not a beaver that works in the raft dock. I guess we have to just watch this, huh? Now, I don't know if the rafts are going to come in contact with the stream gauge, if that's going to cause any problems. But we do have our first raft here. Remember that the flow here is 0.3 cubic meters per second. And then this is going to just kind of get brought in all of this mess. Still doing 1 million logs. I'd like to. We're going to see how that goes. So that launched. We'll call that 11. We got to the 11. This next one is going to probably be about the same. Yeah, that landed pretty much right in front of the 11, and then there's not really any motion here. Let's get one more. Yeah, not quite as far, but we'll call this 11. I guess comfortably we could say it reaches 10. But keep in mind, this is 2 blocks higher than this, and if I put a double high platform here, then it might actually hit it. So I do want to check and see what this is going to do. And remember, this is going to change as the current changes. This with this current setup, get it, current, that's what it will do. With 0.3 CMS, gets us right about there. So without this even being built, you can kind of see that this is, if this were level with the end of this thing, it would actually hit about 1/3 of the way up. So we don't want this here. Now, because this is a place of science, I'm going to put... See, that's why I don't think this is going to work, because of how this is, you know, situated here. But remember what I said, this is a place of science. We are going to commit science, whether science likes it or not. So we do have to get this situated here. We only have 2 days before the drought comes, and that's going to make things annoying. YouTube says now would be a good time to insert ads. I'm not inserting ads during a live stream. Stop asking. Please and thank you. I think it needs to be on a lower 1 block. We're going to test it. Well, I shouldn't say we've all seen Project Farm, but I would hope that you have seen Project Farm. It's very interesting. Farm experiments for science purposes and making good purchases for things. Very interesting channel. But anyway, one thing he always says is we're going to test that anytime he sees a claim on somebody's packaging or whatever. So we are, in fact, going to test that. We just have to be able to get over here. I guess I have to build all this. I have to keep this paused. Then let them do what they're going to do here. Let's go... no, I can't 30 times speed. That's right. Experimentation isn't just for college. Hey, you do what you got to do. That's... I'm not here to judge. All right. Keep in mind, we also have to have this hooked up to power, but I think just the presence of this thing right here is going to stop rafts right about there because of how this is set up. But, again, we're committing science. Yeah, see, that landed right on top of this, so maybe... Okay, I'll tell you what, we can pause this for the time being, because this is just going to create problems. But we do have to wait. And these are all going to flow all the way down here and off the side of the map. That's okay. That's what they're for. Is what they're doing in the inventor huts? Yeah. That's exactly what they're doing in the inventor huts. Yeah, I guess we'll just do that. Might have to delete all those. I don't know that it's going to cause any problems because the thing is already built, but I don't know collision mesh-wise if that would be an issue. I think we're going to be fine. What happens when the rafts hit the side of the map? I don't know. I don't know that for our purposes here it's going to be relevant information. But we'll find out. I'm sure at some point. But if we're allowed to infinitely chain these, then that is going to make things so much easier. We watch it regardless. I mean, if we have time. I don't have unlimited time to stream tonight, but I would like to at least prove a concept before we're done. We might stream this again tomorrow. We'll see. All right, I just have to put in one more. I think I can just do... Yeah, I can just do this guy. Alright, so come on down. Put this thing in. Nobody notify Let's Game It Out. Man, his videos are always chaos. And he only does once... like every couple months now, it seems like. But man, when I was first playing Satisfactory, and I saw all the crazy stuff he was doing, it made me realize, maybe I'm not actually as insane as I thought I was. But I digress. Let's see. Alright. Now we're going to watch this in real time here. See what happens. Because if this works, that's going to be really interesting. But I get the feeling it's going to hang up probably right at the start here. Yeah. Oh, 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 it works. No way. Like it might be a little weird, but it does seem to work. So, let's watch where this lands again. Okay, I'm going to call that landing at 16. But you'll notice it landed at 16, but it left at 3. So that actually goes further, even though it still gets caught here. It goes further. Now, you know what we're about to try. Because we're scientists, right? We do things because we must. Because that is how this works. And if anything is worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right? I can't assume that we've all seen Mythbusters, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. So that... Ah, okay, I can't put that there. That has to be in the middle. Let's, actually, no, I can probably just do this. The reason I'm paused is because, wait, it doesn't matter because the drop's coming anyway. Let's just pause that. We are going to have to build scaffolding for them to actually do this. But I am so invested in this, you have no idea. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. I think this is absolutely incredible. The amount of shenanigans we're about to get into with this. Now, if I go up to 4, I'm not building this scale all the way across. We'll just have to measure manually. But man, I'm unlocking ladders because there's no chance I'm doing this without ladders. So sorry about it if you don't like ladders. That's honestly just something you're going to have to get over for the purpose of this live stream. But boy, oh boy, have we stumbled upon the funniest thing that I've been able to do in this game in a long time. Okay, so this playthrough isn't so much a serious playthrough as it is just create a playground for learning and ideas. So, honestly, I probably should just go in dev mode for this. But, at the same time, doing it in a real gameplay environment is going to actually kind of teach me how this works. Which playthrough are we on? This is the Help Me Learn the Game playthrough. With the automation stuff, it's Ironteeth on Spillage? Maybe, I think is the name of this. I can't ever remember what this map is called. Oh, you know what? Because I rotated the ladder that way, it's not going to let me get on there, so I do have to put in a platform right here. Okay, we're filling this up slowly. We're probably going to want more smelters. I know this is already maxing this out. Wait, how is the supply on this 16? Oh, it's connected underground. I forgot. I was smart last time. That's right. That's right. There's no mine over here, though, so why in the world do I have the smelters going on this side? See, I don't even remember what I was doing with all this. Where is my mine? There's my mine, but there's no power here. There is a two-way station, though, so where does that only come out here? I have to assume it only comes out there. Well, there are worse things. There are worse, inefficient ways to do this. So I know it's not really, quote-unquote, the right way to do this, but it's the way we're going to do it because, honestly, I don't want to spend time messing with that. Let's turn the ladder 90 degrees so they can actually get on top of all this. Build the rest of this nonsense. They're probably going to fall off. But keep in mind, we have raft guides, which are going to go on the sides of stuff. And for the water to actually stay in, it has to be sealed. So all we got to do now, we got 6 days. So then the question's going to become, wait a minute, that doesn't transmit power? Really? Okay, well if that doesn't transmit power, we're going to be in trouble here. So that means I'm going to have to take this out, and make these into... Yeah, so that is... Well, it's a good thing we found that out now, because otherwise this was going to be a very, very aggravating setup here. So I think that should allow me to do basically everything I need to do. Leaf coats, I'm still waiting on the mod to be quote-unquote complete. I think there's still some work being done on the Wonder and, well, the last time I checked at least, and a couple of other things. See, I don't know. I have to be careful about when I start new series because they typically take about, well, depending on what it is, they can take 3 or 4 months to finish. And I'd rather not start a new series, especially in a modded faction, when there could still be substantial changes that occur midway or partway through it and cause us to have to redo stuff. Now, see, like right here, this is all, it's all connected like this, so this will be fine. It just wasn't going into the bottom of the first one. Well, I was basically finished. Okay. Yeah, again, I have to be careful when I start what. But the Folktails playthrough is probably going to be finished sometime in June. I would manage probably the first 2 weeks of June for the finish of that. And I am going to start a new playthrough with at least one modded faction. I just don't know which one yet, because there's a couple of other ones. There's Lapon has the snow beavers. I forget what they're called. And then there's a couple other ones for the mod contest that people have sent me links to that I want to try out. Some of those might be good live stream candidates before I commit to a series. And I know we have water beavers in 1.0 that is, as far as I know, playable enough to do an actual video series on. That might be what I start next. Just because that one takes so long. Every single time it takes like 2/3 of a year, 3/4 of a year to do a playthrough. and I want to make sure that I get that going as soon as I can. We will see. At any rate, we have 4 of these. We have 4 of these things now, with a total lift of 8 blocks, 8 meters, and a run of 12. And that, I'm very curious to see if that's enough to get us all the way over here. It might be. Then the other thing is, like, people keep asking me to do timber punk with water beavers. Like, buddy, that's not happening. That's going to be just completely absurd. Frosty Whiskers, gotcha. Yeah, I think we've done, including the live stream one, we might have done 4 Emperor Pulse playthroughs. I know we've done at least 3. And I do love those guys, but at some point we have to do other things. So, if I don't start water beavers, then it probably would be leaf coats. Because I had a great time with them on the live stream playthroughs. Those were really fun. But we did kind of reach the ceiling with them, I guess, pun intended, pretty quickly because there wasn't a lot of late game stuff. But now, if it's that close to being done or is functionally done, then I guess we're probably fine to start that. I know there was a new breeding mechanic with like the plants that got added in and a couple of other things. So we'll see. Timberpunk probably would be a good Emberpelt map, yes. I'm not going to commit to that because you know what happens when I make promises. That's a bad idea. We've got 3 more days. So while we're waiting on the drought to end, we might as well... Oh, stepped on my mouse cord on the other side of my desk. That was a smart choice. Too many factions. No. There's not enough factions. More is always better because that means you're going to have more options. Okay. And remember, we're still wanting to do the million log storage. That's what all these types of build demos were supposed to be about. Oh, the mine is paused. Well, there's your problem. Oh, you know, I actually don't really need this because we have the ruins here, but I did forget that was paused. I don't have any more of these currently. Why is... Oh! See, I've forgotten so much. We haven't played this in so long. I've forgotten a lot of what we were doing. The door on the left side? Yes. I was putting another woodwork shop over here. And that's why that was the way it was. So, I think, knowing what we know now, I think it's going to be a requirement that I build more of these. So I do want to get to that point before I need it. So that is what I'm doing here. They will clip the front of this if I don't pause it. So I will pause these top 2 things because I want them to be able to sail over the top of this without building everything else. But I am just disgustingly curious about how this is supposed to be working here. I wonder if it's worth... Yeah, I'm going to turn, just so we can actually access stuff, I'm going to turn part of this into a ladder so we can actually build things. I think that's going to be probably the only way we can actually achieve anything with this. So that's going to have to go here, which means this is going to have to... Yeah, it's going to have an access. And I know I did not build an elegant solution here. This is just messing around. It's not supposed to be beautiful. I'm going to counter that, and I'm going to say that I don't think they should make water beavers an official thing, because, remember, we're the sickos that actually play this game more than basically everyone else combined, right? The average player might do, I don't know, 2/3 of a playthrough and then move on. If you throw water beavers at those people, they're going to combust. It's like giving Doritos to a medieval peasant. Like, I hope you understand what I'm getting at here. Like, they're not going to be able to figure it out, and it's going to be really, really, really negative. They're not going to have fun with that. But, you know, people like us who have thousands of hours in the game and have already done everything there is to do multiple times over are looking for other challenges and other things to do, and that's exactly what that's supposed to be for. Yeah, average player would run away. You are absolutely correct. Ember pelts would be great for the base game because they're essentially, they're kind of like a hybrid of Folktails and Ironteeth with one other tech tree, which I think is exactly enough addition for probably 90% of players. Remember, like the people who are doing this level of stuff, like messing with game mechanics and playing thousands of hours of the game, are exactly the kind of people that want crazy complicated off-the-wall nonsense. Everybody else is just like, oh, cool, a cozy beaver game. And then, you know, they play it for a week and then they move on. You don't want to make it worse for them. You really don't want to make it worse for those folks. Because when a lot of people, when I use the term casual, I'm not trying to be dismissive, but that's just the term. But when you rope in a lot of casual players of a game, you sell more copies, and then the studio who makes the game gets more money and they can do more cool stuff. So you want to make sure you don't alienate those people while still providing opportunities for people who want more to do more, right? Got to find a middle ground. I'd like to see a tribe that survive off of bad water instead of good water. I think to a certain extent, water beavers is kind of like that, because bad water is a part of so many different recipes. But in terms of probably what you're suggesting, like beavers that require bad water, like have to be in it or whatever, that would be a very, very interesting idea. I would be in favor of that. Pretty soon... Oh, hey, Devilish. Good to see you. You are, in fact, at the 37-month mark. I think technically Kurt and... Oh, is it Drexus who's third? I can't exactly remember. But there's a couple of you now who've crossed into the 37 territory. But you were the first. All right, we've got water coming in here. Let's wait for this current to stabilize at 0.3. And then, yeah, see, it's not going to be at 0.5 forever. All right, let's turn this thing on. I don't think it's going to start until the morning because they haven't gotten materials in there. But if there are materials in stock, it's just going to keep doing rafts forever. All mechanistry are the greatest, and we should not screw them over business-wise because then they can't be the greatest. Exactly. That's another thing. I think the average person really has no comprehension of just how rare a developer like mechanistry is, where they genuinely listen to the community, make changes based on feedback, and not out of spite either. And then do cool stuff like the Raft mod was developed by a mechanistry employee, like off the clock, officially not a part of the game and not affiliated with that in any way. But this is one of the people that made this game, made this because they thought it was going to be cool. And it is cool. Maybe not for the base game, but again, for people who want extra stuff, that's exactly what this is for. All right, we've got this one about to go through here. It's going to clank into these things, but I want to see just how far this is going to go. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's getting stuck there? Like, there's got to be a way. Like, I feel like I can't really offset these because then there's going to be too much drop. Yeah, okay, we might run into problems here. Let's put this on triple speed here for a little bit and see if we can, like, ramp off of the other ones. Or if it's just going to clog up like this. Because eventually it's going to, you know, it's going to go to the right spot, right? Okay, this is just clogging everything. All right. So we have to make a decision here. We are going to have to modify this and probably set this back one more because this clearly is not going to work because of how the platforms protrude. Devilish, thanks for the 5. I appreciate you. Genuinely. I'm glad to have you back. I hope you have been well. Now I've got to figure out what this is going to do. So if I move it back 1, it might miss it entirely, because that's going to be... But if it just hops on it, okay, well, it's going to be fine. So we are going to, because of that, we're going to have to demolish this entire thing. Remember that this is what this is what we're doing this for, is to experiment and do interesting things. So if I start there and then I put that probably won't connect. We're gonna see. I put this here. That'll go. It might. Let's check this again before they build it. Let's see where this wants to go through. But I'm thinking this might be... Oh, that landed right in the middle. Okay. Now this gets interesting because... Alright, for the ease of construction, we're about to do something that probably a lot of you are going to say is bad. But I think we're going to have to just deal with it. Because I got to get this underneath. I got to get it underneath in a way that's going to actually be a viable construction method, which is going to have to be, I think, like that. Yeah, and if I just have it on single platforms, then I know I'm always going to be able to get beavers under it on ladders. So that is going to have to be set up, I think, like this. Let's give this a shot. Yeah, so I'm going to, for the sake of what we're attempting to do here, just get this in and fill the rest of this in. The game doesn't really need to be paused for this, but I think it does become slightly easier if you get everything laid out before they start building it. So that's going to get us 4 elevations here, and it could, depending on how fast they go after hitting the second one, this could also require further revision. But the only way we're going to be able to do anything about this is to just give it a shot and see what works. Yeah, let's just pop that there. I probably should be building in ladders to the edge of all of these. In fact, let's do that. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best I can do. Building this one outside so they can build more at once, but the rest of them can just be kind of shoved in there. That is going to require I put in a path through here. There. Alright, now they have to build this. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. This is all, of course, going to have to just get sucked through here. Eventually, that's always what happens. I have 7 breeding pods. Well-being is only 30-something. Campfires, rooftop terraces, that's a function of 18-hour work days. Tribute to ingenuity requires more stuff. What was the bells and decorative clocks? So we just kind of have to figure this out one piece at a time. What's going to actually make sense here? I do not want to listen to the bell. I am going to put it in, but I'm going to turn the sound off. I just want to make sure that we get some sort of benefit of these guys. I can't get up on top to build anything else here. But I can put in maybe here and here. Is that going to give me clock decoration? Still not going to get the rest of those. But it's going to help. It's going to help enough to push those up a little bit. These are all just stuck here. Is that because of the path? They just get stuck on the path? Because I don't need this to be here. Yep. It's exactly what happened. They got stuck on the path. Alright. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Because I get the feeling if we have too many of these things on here, we're going to get some crazy lag. Rodent acceleration flight test. That's another good one. The indoctrination station. I love that we call it that. Do I have somewhere to put it? That's on the power network, though. That's also not going to be crazy far away from what else we're doing. I don't need this to be here, and this was load-bearing. I know this isn't going to have anything connected here, but let's just check footprint-wise. Oh, you know what? That actually might work. I know this is a really, really suboptimal place for this to go. However, comma, it just needs to, right? You just have to do it. It doesn't matter if it sucks. Sometimes you just have to do stuff, even if it's not fun. And then I know I will probably have to put a ladder here to get to the inside of it. I want to save before they fall off the map? No, no, they're fine. They just disappear. That's it. We already knew this. Alright, now before they finish building the rest of this, we can launch on just these two and see how it reacts. And also, keep in mind, these are approaching the bottom of this at a very slow rate of speed. And it's possible that if they're, you know, flying down the track here, that it'll be different. Now we have to see how this is going to work. Oh, yeah, that's the ticket, folks. Look at that. Woo! They just... at incredible speed. I think we are going to have an absolute heater on our hands, folks. These are going to be just absolutely flying. I like this a lot. Oh, the shenanigans we can enable with this. Because you know what's going to happen is once we get this figured out, it's going in the Folktails playthrough. You know it has to happen. Somebody left a comment, I forget who it was, on the most recent video, and I was going through reading those, it was either today or yesterday. It said, "Are you going to put rafts up there?" It's like, well, you already know we're going to do that. That's like the entire reason why. Oh, this is going to be ridiculous. Oh, man, I love this so much. I just hope they can get this done. Well, I think we're going to have some more beavers regardless. I was going to try to avoid putting in more breeding pods because sometimes that can cause chaos. But I think we can justify it. This is going to be... Oh, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be an absolute just mayhem here. Also, these are just piling up like ridiculous quantities. Let's get these natural dams out of the way so this can try and get out of here. But man, oh man, this is going to be cool. So provided that, you know, we can just infinitely chain these, and we don't have to move them as they get further up, we are going to be able to do basically anything. Oh man, I wonder how fast. I wish I could put like a radar on this to see how fast it's going. Putting another raft thing over there to collect them. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Just for the purpose of, you know, not letting things go too stupid crazy. Is there any one of these I can just stick this in here? Alright, I'm going to, for the benefit of eventual frame rate, I guess put another one of these here. There, and they can just... It'll automatically get picked up even if nobody works here, I'm pretty sure. Alright, come on, get this thing finished, because I am dying to know. Alright, real-time speed. No fast for this. Oh, yeah, look at that, look at that! Oh, yeah! Oh, this is cool. We're gonna make some dangerous choices here. That's so cool. All right, let's get rid of those. And I also paused that, but now you know what has to happen here. We have to continue, and we have to get them to go all the way up. Now, this is going to have to be the ladder here. Get this hooked up to there. And then this also has to be power shafts. Then the rest of this. Yeah, this has to be a ladder also to get up to the next bit. Then that is going to allow us, in theory, to do, I think, over to this, if we're adding that much height. If we can land on here, that would be great. Let's see. You know what's funny is we actually don't need this here, because these are all going to be gone before too long. I'll just pause that. I like how all the platforms look like supports to actual roller coasters. Well, that's how they actually build. Well, nobody really builds wooden coasters anymore, but that's exactly how they built those. In terms of directionality, we're going to get into some advanced physics with vector. Well, okay, that's not advanced physics if you actually know physics, but we would have to figure out some sort of vector thing because, remember, in this game, there's only 90-degree angles. So I don't actually think you could go diagonally. This would have to land in a pool and then float towards something going a different direction. But you could, just have this go up in a spiral. It's just going to be really square looking. And that was something that I thought I was going to have to play with. But we're going to see, unless it landed directly on a ramp. Oh, so you want it to land directly on a ramp that's already going the other direction. Okay, well, let's get this built first so we can figure out where it's going to land, because I don't think it's going to be able to do much that way, because it's already going to have momentum, and if it hit the side of this, it might just stop. But I am willing to, experiment here. Since that fourth one is done, let's see if that's going to get us that much further. Remember, these landed about here with 3. So now we have to wait and see when this gets to daytime and the beavers can actually go to work. Inverted log flume. Yep, there you go. See, I told you guys I'd get you to watch the Roller Coaster Tycoon videos one way or another. So, surprise Roller Coaster Tycoon video time. Alright. Come on down. Put a raft in the water. There we go. There we go. Alright. No, I didn't want... There we go. We're going up. Going up. Come on. Come on. And... Okay, that didn't go that much further, but it also landed higher. So we know... I can go ahead and pause this. We know this is going to get us, distance-wise, almost to the end here. But, because it doesn't have enough height, it's not going to make it. Okay, and I've got one more of these. We'll go ahead and just get rid of that. So we know putting this one here is probably going to be able to get us over this side. It's not going to get us over there. I don't know that we're going to get any more speed from this point. Thank you very much for the $6.99 Canadian, Dan. Appreciate you. I agree. This is, I think, the most fun part of this game is experimenting with mechanics and figuring out what does and does not work. If it lands in a very wide river with a very fast flow, it could maintain momentum and turn, but it would take up way too much space. Yeah, and then you also have to have the water flowing fast enough, which requires engineering the water. And right now, getting water up into like a flume way up here is going to be a task all on itself, which I do still have to figure out how to do for the sake of the video playthrough. But I think we're going to be able to get a pretty good handle on this in a moment here. Couldn't you just space them out every 10 blocks? We could, but the idea with this is I wanted to gain as much height as possible as quickly as possible to get over this obstacle here. And also in the video playthrough, I want it to be able to get up to the top of the flume. And this is maybe a little shallower than what I have currently built, but it's pretty close. Sorry about the Canadian dollar. Hey, I don't care. Money's money. I need to go to Canada at some point. Lots of cool stuff to see up there. Might need to load up the game myself to experiment. Hey, do it. Do it. More the merrier. We can learn together, and that's fun. I think it's fun, at least. Feel free to disagree, but I am having too much fun with this. I need more beavers to be builders and less other stuff, but I think I just need more beavers in general. Do I want to start doing bots? I feel like we're going to have to. Just because we have to be able to actually, you know, produce things. We've got metal. I don't have the other stuff. Where am I even storing anything? This is such a mess. I know I had this over here. This is all planks. Where am I making gears? Okay, this is done. Okay for kaboom. And then an indoctrination station right there. And that'll give us a little bit of boost, have them live a little bit longer. Well, thanks for hanging out. Have a good time, whatever it is you're on your way to go do. Wife from Georgia's amazed by all the rolling farm hills. We do have those here. And I guess in this playthrough also. Man, it takes them forever to do this. Okay. I've got to figure out... Or maybe I just don't need to worry about it. Maybe I just need to build it and shut up. Yeah, we need bots. We need to have bots. And I've got to have it connected to power. So I've got some power coming back here. I'm not making enough power. That is the memory for nothing. Why is that the memory for nothing? Okay, the number cruncher is paused because of automation. I remember why we did that. Yeah, see, I just need... I need a better, plan for stuff is what I need. But, you and I both know that's not happening. This is primarily for educational purposes. Which means priorities are low. This probably should be connected to something else too, but I guess this is fine to leave like that. Okay, these are still getting caught in the current and going away. Alright, come on. Come on, fifth ramp. Come on, fifth ramp. We gotta figure out what we're doing with this. And then I've got to build at least one set of bot constructors. Yes, that's 350 plus another 500, 850 more HP. It's got to be somewhere over here. I mean, I do have gears. And the recipes for those, of course, are mostly planks, but also require gears and metal. Bad tide. Well, at least we got this. For whatever that's worth. So if I've got... I got power up here, but this is already... Yeah, it's already fully utilized. There's not really any water flow here. We've kind of stifled all of the rest of the water flow to try and, you know, keep bad water out. I think we do still have some that haven't been fixed. If you have not seen this playthrough before, we did build bad water exhaust chutes. We haven't done all of them. But we've got a decent quantity. I set this up and I said, oh, we'll do this next time. And then I absolutely did not do it next time. And now it's next time and I don't want to do it because we're having fun with this. Or I'm sorry, I should say we're having science with this. Now we have to see what's going to happen with 5 of these. And then I kind of want to see what's going to happen if I have faster water flow. So this gets a quicker ingress that's not 0.3. Alright, and here comes the first one. Oh, don't tell me it gets stuck here. That's not gonna work. Come on. What? What is this? What is this? No, 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 no. This worked before. This worked before. Why are you like this? Why are you the way that you are? Stop that. Don't do that. How did I get this to do this? Because this is not that's not right. Well, I don't need this anymore. That's just kind of in the way. Am I gonna have to modify how this drops? Because I'm having problems with this. Let's see what happens here. That's gonna hit there, and then it's gonna go toward. But it keeps getting stuck. Is that getting stuck because of this, or is it getting stuck because of this? Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But it should, as soon as it hits this, it should just go up. Like, I don't think the water level is any lower than it normally would be. Oh, you know what it is? Is I took the dams out. That is almost certainly what has happened, is the water level here is not high enough. Alright, well, I guess now we're about to have another season here I can't do anything with. This is quickly becoming a very strong argument for the use of dev mode. But I don't want to do that. Diagonal raft guide. What about just regular raft guide? Okay, that's, I think, the one I want. That just stay there. I don't know if they can even reach this. Yeah, they can't reach that. Alright, how about a... What do you call it right here? Raft on power shaft. Oh, you're right. Any other nonsense I should know about? That does look cool from this angle, though. I'll give them that. Yeah, that's just going to keep on going through. What was I... Oh, I was looking for somewhere to put... what do you call it? Alright, so now we're making 2,000, but I need more. Need more power. Can't put it there. Unless I were to do one of these. Yeah, let's do this. Let's have that go there. Have that go there. Make sure we get a path. And then I'm going to have this go like this. Just connect to that. That'll give them some additional power there. Waiting on that. That's in place. I think this is deep enough now to give it a shot. So let's get beavers in here. Let's get one raft, and then I will pause it, and we'll see what happens with the one raft. Come on, beavers. Here we go. All right, here's our one raft. And for the sake of, you know, nausea-inducing, I'm going to go ahead and get that on the focus thing. Why is this not flowing? Oh, because we're about to... Ugh, man. Now we have the bad tide, so there's no water flow. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to worry about it. It's fine. Beavers do not pick up the raft if it lands on dry land. It has to flow into one of these things, which we decided wasn't necessary because it's just going to go off the edge of the map. But now we have to wait until the end of the bad tide, because that's how that goes. So this would be a good opportunity for us to build a bot building area. I was just trying to get more power in there. Okay, that's going to be I know I'm going to have bad water flooding somewhere. One of these places. Okay, well-being's up to 38. Based on power... This isn't going to flood with anything, right? Okay. Remember, this is not a most beautiful, everything perfect playthrough. This is a, I want to play with this and see what's going to work playthrough. So, things are going to be constructed in locations and manners that are suboptimal. And it is going to be okay. We won't need to worry about it. Actually, those need to be rotated. So I can have some sort of somewhat optimal setup here. And I have ladders in this playthrough, so I don't have to finagle stuff like I was doing in the other one. But I do want to get this set up to... I guess right here is fine. Don't really need to be that worried about it. But I do need to get power in, and that is going to go into... Connect to the backside? Yes. And I believe if I do this correctly, I'm only going to have to put in a thing there. Once again, not a perfect setup by any means. In fact, it is a horrible setup by most means, but it's going to be okay. We don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to have this set up like so. And that's not going to connect to the back, so we don't have to worry about it. Metal. And because we can probably, for our circumstances here, not have too much dirt, then we will need to have warehouses for... Nope, not there. Warehouses for all this garbage, including but not limited to gears. And then we definitely want a warehouse for limbs. And then the rest of this, honestly, is not going to matter that much, but I will put in another one on top here for... heads, and then we just have to get these all hooked up. Suboptimal pathing, etc. It's going to be okay, don't worry about it. These need to be spitting out parts as fast as we can. Then, of course, these have to be making bots, but we'll let them get to what they have to get to when they have to get to it, and probably not a second sooner. We only have 3 days. We'll be alright. Power can be put straight to assemblers. You know what? You're absolutely correct. So that is what we'll do. Ah, yes, the idiot parade. We got 3 beavers stuck on top of here. Alright, well, time to build ladders. I think that should be alright. Now, the question's going to be... Well, we already know what the answer is. We already know that we're absolutely going to be extending this. And then this is going to have to be another setup there. And that's going to be another one of these. That's going to be another one of those. And then this is going to be that. And then this is also going to be that. But they haven't built that yet, so we'll see what happens. Okay, this does not have power because it's not connected. Let's get it connected and move right along. Water is good for you. Drink water. So that's going to get connected, and then I believe... Oh, I've got a homeless beaver. was trying to keep these guys corralled into the same general area, but I think I might have to build another row house. I'll just put this here because it's close enough to most of these things to be fine. Alright, so this is all hooked up. Power-wise, we're currently okay. Remember, we're going to have science to get these things automated as well, but we don't have any bots yet to automate. Bottomate, whatever. Old habits die hard. 1.6 days left until we get water coming back. So, I'm pretty confident that 6 of these like this should get us most of the way over here, just based on, you know, this having to also fall down. If this would get into this body of water, that would be cool. But I do want to see where this stops, and I think no matter where it stops, I'm going to put water there to see about trying to float it somewhere else. Or we can turn 90 degrees and see if we can get it to fling off the map or something. Yeah, you picked a really interesting first stream to go to. Because right now we're basically just messing with the Raft mod and seeing what we can get ourselves into. We are going to have a very fun time with all of this. Right now I just need to get some bots actually going here. I don't have enough materials. Waiting for more limbs. We're always waiting for more limbs. That's the thing, is you can have these all, in theory, take the same amount of time to get produced, but the limbs always lag behind just a tiny bit. But if you build a second limb factory, then you have way too many limbs. Raft roller coaster was actually the thing I was attempting to do. We'll see what happens. I don't know how viable it's going to be to do exactly what I'm envisioning, but we have in fact proved to this point that you can chain these together like this, and it works. It doesn't work, you know, astoundingly well, but it does work. To some degree, at least. Now we're waiting for the water to come back through here so we can get stuff back in place. In the video series, what I wanted to do was utilize the deep mechanical fluid pumps to create artificial currents and then force water across the giant aqueduct. And I was debating either trying to recover some of that with water wheels or using it for rafts, and I think the obvious fun answer is to put rafts on there. We'll see what happens. Turn your mind back on. Oh, that's right, because we don't have any more stuff. That is a very good catch. Unfortunately, it has minimum workplace priority. So, once I have bots, I can actually start putting them into some of these other jobs. But until that happens, not going to work. Okay, day 1. Pretty soon we're going to have more water coming in. We are very low on water. I think part of it's because we have more beavers, and I also turned off all these water pumps because I was trying to get a bunch of flow out of this. Is this out? No, so these might actually need to be turned into bot jobs. These are still pumping away. Where's my first bot? 3261. Okay. Mechanical water pump mod to make more flow. Well, I don't know that I'd be in favor of that because we're trying to, you know, play within the limits of the game. That's kind of the whole point. I know these don't produce a lot of flow. They take a lot of power. They're supposed to be kind of like an end-game solution. But we're going to see what we can get ourselves into. 98.99. Okay. I'm going to have the bots start making bots. That's the only way this is going to get any faster. So we'll do limbs first, and then we'll have a little bit of a surplus of limbs because this guy's going to keep going all night, and then the next one, probably chassis, so on and so forth. But now we have water, which means I can get this unpaused, and we are going to see, probably at first light, exactly what's going to happen when we have 5 of these and then eventually 6. Now that I have enough water coming up through here. Alright, come on. Give me a raft. Just one. That's all I ask. Everyone is doing literally anything else. There we go. Alright. 1 raft. Single time speed. Up, 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 up. All the way across. And then then it slides way down in there. Okay, so when we have this one get finished, it'll probably organically land right about here. We'll call that for now. But we do have to have that actually land somewhere first before we're sure. Welcome, welcome. We are currently committing cardinal sins against science, or depending on your viewpoint, incredibly amazing advancements. I'm going to go ahead and get that set there. Just got our second bot, now it's in there. Running low on gears. Right you are. See, this is what happens when you start doing stuff like this. You start running out of everything. And Ironteeth consume mass quantities of gears. Just tremendous quantities of gears. Where am I going to put any more of these? See, I didn't design anything in this playthrough at all. I just kind of plopped stuff down. And when you do that, there's consequences. So guess what? I'm just going to start putting things wherever they're going to fit. And that's just going to have to be what we have to do. We're working on the scrap metal. I need the beavers to be able to get into the mine, and to get into the mine I have to replace some of the jobs with bots that we are currently attempting to make. It'll even out over time. It also should be noted that... Oh, hey, that's finished. It also should be noted that a lot of what we're doing here is completely insane and outside of the original aims of this playthrough, and that's why it's not set up for anything. Because I was originally just learning automation, or attempting to. And then I had the idea, hey, we should try this. But now... Whoa! Okay. So that lands right there. Meaning, if we want to see what happens when it lands on a different facing thing, I'm not sure if I want to put it... Maybe here would be fine? Because I don't know if that's going to actually fit in the right spot or not. Let's put that here, and then... I suppose... That's not going to connect in the middle, is it? It is not, but it does have to go in that spot anyway, because that's where it comes out. Okay. That is going to connect, right? Sure hope so. That doesn't need to be a vertical shaft, though. That could just be a regular one. Alright, so I don't know that this is going to do anything. It might not be in technically the correct spot, but we're going to give it a shot. If only there was a spring mechanic that bounces things up. See, now you're getting into some really complicated physics that I don't think the game was ever intended to be used for. But now I'm also very curious about that. Okay, I've got extra bots. That's going there. I know this is just going to be consuming completely insane quantities of gears. It's okay. I don't have science to get the rest of these things taken care of, but I do... Why? Oh, you know what I forgot? You know what I forgot? I forgot to build charging stations. Why are the bots all dead? Gee, I don't know. Maybe remember to charge them. That might be a good good first step. Yeah, there's your problem. Ain't got no gas in it. What about... I'm not really producing enough science to have one of these, but... We'll get... Of course it needs gears. Ah, yes. Beautiful, glorious nonsense. Okay, these have to go. Because I have to put in more... what do you call it? More gear workshops. Yeah, see, this is going to, this is going to be interesting to see exactly what it is we're going to have to be able to do here. Well, there are planks directly under this, so I guess that's about as good as we're going to get. That can go away. That can be turned into a ladder now that I have ladders. Yes, you're all stuck. Thank you for getting stuck. But it's actually my fault, so I can't yell at you. Okay, there we go. Just get the rest of that done. So now we have to wait for gears so we can charge these things. The gears that are flowing very quickly into places like this. Oh well, it's fine. We don't need to worry about it. This is done. This is not. Waiting on gears and metal parts. Do I even have one of these? Man, I don't have any clue what's happening here. I need the metal... What's that thing called? The metal parts thing. Metalsmith. What is this waiting on? It does not have... Ah, yes. Back to square one with our problems. We don't have scrap metal. And why don't we have scrap metal? Because nobody's working in the mine. Well, guess what? It's time to go to work. Go to the mine. I love creating problems for no reason. At least we're going to have gears now. That is a thing that we're going to absolutely be fine with, is gears. I've got probably enough lumber mills. The beavers yearn for the mines. You are correct. So as long as I have enough scrap metal to do literally anything, then we'll be okay. Just have to wait. Just have to wait. You know, I probably could have manipulated this to have one more of these in here, but I kind of don't want to worry about that. Okay, a kid with a -10 debuff is going to have the equivalent of like 5% work speed. I don't think that's actually going to be of any benefit. Alright, just... Oh, of course this needs metal parts too. I forgot they changed all of this stuff. I haven't played Ironteeth in a long time since the 1.0 update. Alright. Yeah, see, I really just need this to be finished, and it's waiting on that to have logs and water, which means... turn this back on, I guess, and we're going to get to see what kind of nonsense keeps falling over here, and if this is possible to go 90 degrees. If you're bad enough in terms of labor to the point of needing children to work, your well-being's probably not going to be 50. Or at least it shouldn't be. Alright, so this is on. We've got rafts coming in. And now we're going to see exactly where it lands. Okay, so that's going to be the first one. Coming up here. And... Okay. Not quite enough. Not quite enough, and that was not in the correct spot. But we have technology. And we can just do that. And I think that's what we're going to do. Let me get rid of these rafts here. Because I don't need those sitting on the ground. I think, in theory, this should land on this. It might not be tall enough. Yeah, if that landed, that would have landed on there. Let's pause this. We don't have any more shenanigans until we have to. How'd you get down there? Oh no, there's so many of these down here. Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, that's fine. I think that was the only one? Yeah. No, I don't have power under the mines. Not... I do. Alright, well... That was supposed to be... That's fine, I can just have this come up here. That spot. Yeah. That's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna have to get that platform removed. This might actually be exactly perfect to go there. Still waiting on gears. We still don't have a lot of gears. There's still not a single one of these done. I guess we're waiting on metal parts. Probably. Is one of these taking metal parts? Is that what it is? No. Metal blocks. Okay, that's fine. Look at all these bots running around that can't even charge because some genius didn't put metal parts in the charger. All right, this is now the most important building. Put all your metal parts here. I don't even remember where that building is. The metalsmith. It's not here. Okay, for kaboom. Yeah, let's just get this connected now so we don't have any further stupid problems. Alright, so I have these two next to each other. Let's get a single raft. As soon as that gets dropped, then we'll hit pause. Come on. Where are you? I know you're out there. Show up to work and drop this thing and you can go home, I promise. Alright. Now we have that thing going. Okay. It landed in the corner here. So... See, I thought it was going to land right here. Let's see if I can get one more to go. I don't think it's going to before the end of the day. But I guess we'll find out. Is there anybody employed by this that's on the way? They are. Okay. I just need them to drop. There we go. Just drop one. Because I am so curious about why this wasn't going in a straight line. Okay. Okay. We're making some progress here. So I guess it's bouncing off of the terrain when it really shouldn't be. Yeah, because it's going to hit this. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be fine. So if I raise it one... See, we're getting into... At this point, we're getting into the theory of how this works in kind of a roundabout, dumb way. But I do still think this is worth trying. Again, it's not going to be a terribly long stream because I do not have unlimited time, but I really want to try as much as I can while I can, so that when I go to do this in the actual video series, I don't look like a complete buffoon. Okay, that needs to be prioritized. Do I have a charger yet? I do. I have a charger, and that's it. So that means I've got 1, 2, 3, but I don't because they're out of power. And they're slowly recharging. I guess I need to have 2 chargers. And where in the world is this metalsmith thing? Why is this automated? Why did I automate that? Ah, yes. It needs scrap metal. Who could have possibly foreseen this? That needs to be prioritized by haulers. Do I have haulers? I might not. That could honestly be a huge part of this whole problem is I don't have enough haulers. Okay. Those are already deprioritized. This is... Okay, yeah, there's not a soul in there. Hit the side of the ramp so it didn't work. No, it hit the... It hit the corner of this. But if it's higher, it's also going to catch it as it falls. So I think that one will work. I just have to be able to get the positioning exactly correct. Okay, the problem with the doing it in a video is then if I make a bunch of mistakes in a video, then the video is ruined, and I have to go back and spend like 8 hours editing it to take stuff out that's not whatever, and that's what I've said I'm not going to do for any of the videos. Live stream stuff, I can get real-time feedback instead of waiting 12 hours for people to leave comments that I'm not going to be able to understand because I'm bad at reading. Here, I can get multiple people to, you know, crowdsource this whole thing. Ends up being a much better learning environment. Alright, so that's going there, 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 there. And It's like no matter what I build, it's wrong. It's like it's not high enough, but it's higher. And it was okay. Alright. Let's try doing one more here. And then I'm going to have to... No, see, that's not in the way. I think they should be able to build this from underneath and it won't be a problem. Okay, I have 2 chargers now, so that's fine. I got bots with nothing to do, which means I don't have the 10,000 science. And this is off because I don't have enough extra power, so we need more power. And these are all connected. So what that is going to require is moving this path to the other side. Then I can disconnect that, and then I can disconnect that, and I can put another engine in. There we go. That's going to have to be good enough. And I know I don't have enough metal parts to do all of this, but if I have it be taken care of like that, then eventually everything will be fine. No, I know a pond will catch it just fine. What we're trying to see is if we can transfer momentum 90 degrees without it losing a whole bunch of stuff. Which I think personally is not going to work that great, but you guys wanted to test it, so we're testing it. I just need, I guess, this to be finished, which they might not because they're trying to build this other thing. So let's give this a top priority so they can actually finish it. All right, so that one's working. Let's turn this back on. I just need one, because I need to see if we can land on this. Might not be able to, but we'll see. If it's skidding along on the top of the earth here, then that's going to cause us to have to do something else. No, this... Okay, look. People keep bringing this up. Like, it's going to take me, like, half an hour to get these connected, and that's not a good use of our time. It's so much faster to just build that. Alright. We got 2 of the... Oh. I missed my mark on that. So I want to see where this lands. Okay, so that did land on the wheel there, and we have another one coming. Yeah, there it is. It's just going slow. Okay, so it skips there. Yeah, see, it just doesn't always land in the same spot. So I feel like this is really not an ideal way to be trying to do this. Just because there's so much working against you to try and land something in the same spot every single time. Because now I'm going to have to come in here and get rid of... At this point, might as well just build more of those. And try to just create a giant catchment zone. I think it's probably always going to be better to land in water. Yeah. But now that I know this is technically possible, because it hit this and bounced off, I do want it to see it just actually go. I'm not ever going to build this, because it's become very obvious that it's not going to work great. Hitbox to the side of the ramp is probably a full square, not a triangle. I mean, we're not going to be able to see it, but you're probably right. I just don't know. Like, there's so much random chance with this. It seems like it's not going to be possible to really, really do it the way you want to do it. We could probably hit a wall and just have it fall here. You were correct. So, depending on if this is always going to land here, then what we'd have to do is we'd have to shorten the distance. We'd have to have, like, a zone we always know it's going to at least go over at some sort of height and then build a wall next to it. Then it loses momentum. That is, yeah, that's true. And that was the whole idea, I think, that people had with this, was they wanted to see if they could conserve momentum and go around a corner. Changing directions via ramps is busted. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. But it's something that I do want to see if it works. So, we're not going to be messing with this forever, don't worry. But I did want to give it a shot. What I'm going to do here is, I think, see if this is going to let me actually do this. No, that's not. I want this to go... There we go. I just want to create a wall so it's always going to fall on top of this. That's going to be the next step here. And I guess I'm going to have to... How did you get stuck there? God, idiots. I swear these beavers are the stupidest things on the face of the earth. I think they should be able to build all those from the tile of ladders there. Well, I have this here. It may or may not actually fit onto here. Let's see. Alright, now they're going to, you know, take their sweet time, come out of this, launch a raft, and then we're going to see what happens. We got to get them in here first. Alright. So we got our one raft. Let's follow this thing. And oh, so now it wants to go. Okay. So we know that this is going to have enough horizontal play to hit this wall and then fall down, but the wall has to be built first. So we know that's going to work. Okay. I don't have my 10,000 science, so I can't turn these on for bots, but I can have this thing just constantly make metal parts because that seems like that's a huge problem. And then I need more power, so this activates, or I could turn this off, but I kind of don't want to mess with that. Which is why I was building this, but I don't have enough metal parts, so you know how it goes. It's a vicious cycle. Alright, so I've got that. I guess I just have to wait, because I know we're going to have a drought or a bad tide sometime soon, and we're going to see what happens. But if they can hit the wall and fall and then go that way, then we'll at least have proven that it is possible to change directions on one of these without the raft hitting water again. Which, again, not something I'm going to implement if I ever build something like this in an actual playthrough, but good to know it's possible. Yep, okay, drought in 3 days. We got a little bit of time. We got like 2 days before this stops being actual flowing water. Alright, I think that is going to have to be close enough. Let's get at least one test raft coming through here. Maybe it's different if they have more flow coming through, and maybe that's going to change the trajectory, but for what we're doing now, this is what works. We know all the pieces prior to this work. These beavers that work here always take the long way to work. It's like they don't want to go and do their jobs, huh? Who can relate to that one? Alright. Let's get this going here. No, I didn't want those pumps on because I was afraid it was going to be... Alright, well that was dumb. So I think it was just this one piece was missing. Alright, because I didn't want it to take up any water flow over the ramps. This is, remember, this is not a production environment. This is a testing. So come on down, drop one more of these in here. And of course, now that I put that one piece in, it's going to need another layer on top of it, and that's just how it's going to have to go. I just want, there we go, one raft. So I don't have to chase these things all over the place. Alright. Now, hit the wall. Oh, come on, man! Alright. This game is playing jokes on me now. That's what's happening. It's like no matter what I do to try and improve this, the game just laughs at me. Which, to be fair, I am attempting to do some very stupid things. But it is what it is. Alright, so that means number cruncher should be turned on. Chronometer. No. That is non-working hours. Okay. Now it's on. I guess that's fine. I did tell it to do that, after all. That was exactly what I had said. Now, as long as they can finish these, which I guess they didn't actually need this to do. As long as they can finish these fast enough where I can actually put this through, because the water flow starts decreasing after the final day. Alright. Now let's get somebody in here. I'm just going to leave this on because I just need this to actually be testable. Come on, beavers. Come on, beavers. I need you to show up and actually launch rafts, because we need to analyze what's happening here. Alright, so these are all going to, in theory... Oh, this might actually get launched directly into this piece of terrain here, which I did not consider. But we're learning. Alright, so there we go. Against the wall. And then it falls. Alright. If that's what the rest of these are going to do, I'm going to be very annoyed. Man, I thought it was going to be just shooting straight, which would put it right here. But it seems like it's going to the right. Okay, see that one... Okay, so 1 out of 3 times it worked. But the rest of these... I don't know. Do I not have any more of these? Or did they run out of materials? That's probably what happened. So it did technically work, but it didn't conserve any momentum because, of course, it's not going to. That's not how that works. But we did prove that it's possible. It's just kind of stupid. And it doesn't always work. But if I had a second one... See, I don't know that it would line up that well. 1 out of 3 gets in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. But yeah, well, you're not wrong there. Okay. I know we're about out of time in terms of what the game is concerned with. But I'm curious if I just leave it here, if that's going to get picked up. It probably isn't. But that is probably... Oh, okay, so that did work. That did work. It just hit the wall here. But it doesn't always land in a way that's conducive to something happening. Alright, now the only reason I'm making this a tunnel is so that I can not have to get up to the top of this. I just want this to go away. I need to be able to just blast this out the easiest way possible. And tunnel's the easiest way to do that. And I just realized how stupid that is when I can just put ladders. I keep forgetting I have ladders. I played without them for so long. Yeah, I just need this to go away. Well, we're about to not have any water in here for a little bit of time. And I'm about to be running out of time here in a little bit. But this is valuable research. This is good stuff. I kind of want to put another ramp here just to see what it's going to do. I think the wall's blocking path. Well, it shouldn't be blocking further path here unless you're talking about the terrain. Yeah, I did pause this, that's why. So now, knowing how much this has gone up, let's, yes, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks of height to get down to this area. Which is, how many blocks away? It's going about 15. maybe technically 16, 17 because it's hitting the wall and going down, but we're getting about twice as much run out of every block of height, which that's pretty good. But it's, you know, it's a ballistic trajectory. It's not always going to be like that. You really want me to just go into dev mode to skip that? If enough people want me to do it, I'll do it, but I've been trying to avoid dev mode. Boy, this is a slow night here. Come on, morning. How long of a drought is this going to be? 5 days? If it never lands on the left side, push the ramp 1 tile right. Well, the problem with that is then I have to redo my power, then I have to rip all this stuff out, and that's annoying. All right. Next season. There. So let's get rid of all these rafts here before it starts becoming a problem. Alright, so you want me to move this 1 block to the right. For that to happen, I'm going to have to do a lot of rather annoying stuff. But it's fine. Okay, I've got a bunch of bots that aren't really doing anything. Oh, come on, autosave. Let's unlock builders for bots. So I can have 8 of those. And then I'm going to have to put in power somewhere. I guess I'll just put 1 there. That'll be fine. They just have to be able to actually access it somewhere. Then that's also going to be fine there. Alright. So I've got that done. This raft can go away. And then, because of how this is situated, I have to, if I'm going to move this, I have to make sure I can put power into it. So that's going to go there. Where was this again? Okay, then that just has to move there. And if that is going to be what's happening, then I should probably also just blast this entire hillside down. Would probably be easiest. Cannot get up to the stairs to get to the ladders because of the wall. No, they got up here. They got up here just fine. That's how they placed that. Alright, and so that is spinning, but I want to get rid of this before it becomes a problem. Everything else is probably fine, but this is going to have to go as well. I don't think you need the whole hill. I'm going to get rid of the whole thing because I just don't want to come back and do it again. I just need them to get all these put in place. Alright, so that's done. Get that out of here. I think, now that this is taken care of, we can have our rafts start coming over here. I'm going to modify this so it's not every half hour, because that was just completely insane. Let's try every 1 hour. Then I don't have to be so vigilant about making sure it stops. Alright. Come on down. Launch a raft. And now we get to follow this. Alright. Hit the wall. Fall down. See, it still doesn't... It still doesn't. It just... It bounces off of this. Ugh. Alright. I don't know what else I can reasonably do with this. I really don't know what else I can do to try to get this to work. No, it's the wall's not the problem. It's bouncing off of this piece here. Like the landing zone is just so imprecise. It's really, really hard to get it to go in the same spot every time. And that just goes all the way around here. And it's going to hit the wall. And then it just slides straight down. And it has so much momentum it almost went off the side of the cliff there. Yeah, so for that reason, I don't think it's going to be a good idea to try to do this. I think it's just going to have to land in a pool and then also flow over to a next set of ramps. Unless one of these that ends up, you know, just constantly going down is going to hit this, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, see, none of these have actually landed on the ramp and kept going. I don't think the stairs have collision mesh for these. I do not think that is a thing. But I will humor you, and I will have them build stairs. Now, let's find out if this is going to be affected by the stairs. It seems it actually is, but there's still a gap here that it's not going to get into. So if enough stuff piles up down there, maybe it'll just force to fall in here. Okay, so that finally worked. But this is not a reliable way to ensure this actually happens. Like this is a objectively very stupid solution. No, the other ramp's just going to go the other way. That wouldn't solve anything. What we want is for it to fall on this every time and always shoot, which is not going to do. Which, in fairness, it's a raft mod. It's supposed to float on water, so we can't really be mad that this doesn't work. At least not reliably. But it does work, you know, by Major League Baseball standards. This would be a Hall of Famer. Like you guys were saying. But for practical purposes, I cannot endorse this, and I'm not going to be doing it this way. But it's useful information to know. Move the stairs up one level. Alright, we're gonna play this game. Again, I don't have a ton more time to do this. I blocked out about 2 hours. But I am willing to try a little bit more stuff here. Alright, is that all of my... No, there's one raft here. So let's, instead of making this a platform, let's make it dirt, which I think they should be able to do. Let's make it dirt, and then let's make these regular stairs. You doubt that it would change anything? Yeah, it probably won't, but, you know, I told you guys I'd try it, so. No harm in trying, but time. Yeah, the pool ball action the rafts are doing. Yeah, they actually have some pretty impressive physics behind them. I think that's another mod, Bober's Laws of Motion or something, I think is what it was. Oh, they can't reach this. Oh, because this wall's blocking the stairs. I know you said that. I know you said that, but it wasn't in a way that matters. Oh, these rafts are still going. Okay. If this can just reliably fall here, then we'll be in business. Okay, well that's 3 for 3 since that staircase got put in. 4 for 4. Can we get to 10? Okay, that's 5. Okay, so that one did not work. So we're 5 for 6. 6 for 7. 6 for 8. But there was supposed to be a piece of terrain there. 7 for 9. 7 for 10. So 70% of the time, it worked. And I don't think it's going to continue going up. You know, it's not completely stupid. Adding the terrain probably would have fixed it. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put another set of stairs here. Can I just, like, mass delete these things? It's not going to count them as rubble. It's going to count them as... No, it's not even resources. It's an entity, so I have to do this every single time. Okay, what about... I'm going to let them put that piece of terrain in the other set of stairs. Oh, I need to pause this. So I don't want these to be just going all the time. Alright. Too far, too far. Come on. Yeah, so get up here, build that, build that. Get this done. I don't think there's any other rafts that are hiding. Shouldn't be. No, looks like we're good. 70% of the time it works every time. Yep. Exactly. Just need them to come over here and take care of this. Alright, so here's where we stand. Oh, I thought they finished the stairs. Now they finished the stairs. We have our makeshift funnel ramp here. I need this thing to do 10 in a row. That's my criteria, is it needs to do 10 in a row perfectly for me to consider this to be a valid strategy. Alright. Of course, every time I unpause this, they have to show up for work and they have to go from super far away. Now we just have to wait. Alright, so we have one. Let's see. Is it going to do it? Alright. We got one. Nope. Excuse me. 50%. 2 out of 3. And each one that fails is probably, ironically, going to help the rest of them succeed. But that's fine. 3 out of 4. 4 out of 5. That didn't even hit the ramp at all. 4 out of 6. 5 out of 7. With rice. 6 out of 8. 6 out of 9. So that's not actually any better. I think you can pause the raft dispatch without pausing the building. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of don't want to go back and forth and mess with it too much. Where were we at? 6 out of 8 or was it 6 out of 9? I think it might have been 6 out of 8. Come on, rafts. Okay. 7 out of 9 or 7 out of 10, one of those two. That's another one that failed. Alright. 7 out of 11. 8 out of 12. So we're at 66%. Not terrible. That completely failed. So if there were walls on all the, okay, now they're all just failing. Yeah, I don't want to count anymore. So that was just 1, 2. Yep. It's just not consistent enough. Like, it's not even not landing within a couple of blocks of the same spot every time. Which again, this, to be perfectly clear, this is not an indictment of the mod. This is, we're trying to do rafting without water, which is not how it's supposed to work. But we have proven to some extent that it is technically possible for this to work if you get really lucky. We just have not been really lucky. And that has been the issue. Yeah, so okay, let's go ahead and pause these because we're already whatever. I'm just about out of time if I want to have any hope of accomplishing anything else with my weekend. I do unfortunately have to stop, but this is valuable knowledge, and I am very glad that we spent time testing this, because I'm going to do something like this in the video playthrough. I can't do this. This is not reliable enough. But as long as it has a pool of water in which to land, then the raft guides can follow it where it needs to go and hit the next ramp. Right, landing pool for 100% accuracy. You just have to have a big enough target zone, and it'll be fine. So, I hate to just stop after only 2 hours of doing this, but I really do have to get on with some other stuff. I'm going to try. I can't 100% promise anything because this week has been nuts, but I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow and explore a little bit more of this. And then possibly, depending on how that goes, I might try to incorporate that into Monday's episode with the Folktales. But we also need to start a new series next week for my timing to work out the way I need it to. So we'll see. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys doing some real-time beta testing. Tomorrow, ideally, would be about the same time, 7 p.m. I can't try for afternoon starts in the weekends or weekdays. It just doesn't work anymore. I got way too much other stuff going on. But I'm very glad you decided to spend a little bit of time with me today. Thank you very much for all the support. I don't know if the people who supported earlier in stream with the donations and stuff are still here, but I really appreciate you. And even if you're not, even if you're just here talking, I'm glad you're here. You're never obligated to send me anything ever for any reason. I just want you to be here and have a good time with what we're doing, and hopefully that was something we accomplished today for you. So, whatever it is you're doing, stay safe, have fun. We'll see you back again, hopefully tomorrow, same time, same place. And then, hopefully, we can do something fun like this with the Folktales in the video on Monday. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.